Okay, how about a video on how to get started in property when you don't have a lot of money? I'm in Madrid, in Spain. I'm hanging out in one of the main parks in Madrid at the moment. I'm doing a few videos for you guys, but generally just being on holiday. It's really nice. So, a couple of different routes. I mean, there's a lot of people interested in rent to rent. I'm not a huge fan. I'm sure if you do it well, and I know some good people who do it well, then absolutely good luck to you. But for me, rent to rent is a bit like being the intermediary and taking a day job. And I'm not a huge fan of that. And we did a time and motion study on my business, and we know how many hours it takes to manage tenants, and I'm not a huge fan of you being tied down to that. Okay, you could outsource it to other people. And then possibly the other way to do, which is probably my experience, and therefore I'm probably going to be more likely to suggest it's a good way to go, is look at how do you work by sourcing deals, which is the number one skill you need, and how do you work by working with investors, which is, I guess, the number two skill you need if you don't have a huge amount of money to start out with, because you're going to need to raise money, aren't you? So the way that I did it, and it just might be an idea for you guys to consider something similar, is I took 60 grand out my own mortgage and I bought a couple of houses, but then that was it. I was kind of stuck. Oh look guys, look. Everybody's boating in Madrid. And I would have been stuck then, because then they introduced the 6-month rule and I wouldn't have been able to pull my money out for 6 months, and then I could have bought again. So I would have gone a lot more slowly than I particularly wanted to go. So what we then did was, because I had the ability to find discounted deals, we found properties that were cheaper than, well, really they're being sold wholesale, not retail, and we're able to find those properties. We actually did over 200 deals, sourced at a purchase price, an agreed purchase price of 30 million quid, that were worth after refurb 45 million quid, so not bad. And we basically, the equipment we did to do that was a kitchen table, a telephone, an internet connection, and a fairly old computer, because at the time I couldn't afford much more, and to be quite frank, I wanted to put all my money into property. So what we did was we worked with investors. We had a good group of investors. We charged them a fee to be part of the group. At first, oh bless, I only charged £100, and that's all it is really, is to get rid of the tire kickers. And then later on we charged a little bit more. And those investors were the people that received our deals, and then those investors bought our deals and then paid us a fee. And all the money that we took in as fees, we immediately used to buy properties ourselves. And the reason I'm kind of quite a fan of that kind of start is because although it's hard work, and boy, it was hard work guys, you learn two skills. You learn how to source deals, and you get very, very good at it, whether it's from estate agents, auction houses, direct to landlords, or direct to vendor. And you learn how to work with investors, because of course you're working with a whole bunch of investors who want to buy deals from you, and at some stage you may end up doing some joint ventures, some buy to sell, which is exactly what we did, thereby I suppose pushing up the take home, if you like, for us, because instead of just taking a small fee, we were then sharing the profit on a buy to sell. Because actually what we did was find the property and we renovated the property, so we brought, if you like, the money making opportunity. So to my mind, you can go rent to rent, and good luck if you do, but I'm not a huge fan. To my mind, I'd much rather you looked at doing deal sourcing if you don't have much money, and every bit of fee that you bring in, put it straight back out to buy a house. So really, you run a deal sourcing business and you intend to eventually become, first off, the biggest buyer, and then secondly, the only buyer. And that's where we're at. We only ever intended to run the business for 5 years as a deal sourcing business, and then I became the biggest buyer, and now I'm the only buyer from the deal sourcing business. So it's just a nice little trajectory, if you like. Anyway, good luck whichever way you go, but I would always vote for deal sourcing rather than rent to rent, because I feel it allows you to understand how to create or to find investments that are being sold wholesale, not retail. Speak soon. Bye.